It is the new worst week. Dare I say ever? Probably. I dare. I dare. New. Worst week ever.
I know. Yet again, Spects forgets to turn off the transition.
I did on the back end.
Ooh. Well.
You're welcome.
Annie here. Yeah. Yeah, no, I had no idea where you were going with it the whole time, so I was like...
Yeah, I caught that.
I don't know where this is going.
What's he doing? He's doing things and bits and such.
Yeah. Where do we want to start with all of them?
Well, it's the new worst week ever. So
do we want to talk about how terrible the Lakers are? Do we want? I mean, like we've had this what's it called? Thumbnail, the one that was for this video. It's been prepared by you for multiple weeks.
A week.
A week.
A week.
I don't know.
We can start here with the Angels are 9-1 in series this season. For those of you keeping track at home, that's 1 series win, a sweep against the Marlins, 9 series losses, and 1 series tie. I just want to throw that out there. They are not good.
Well, they are not.
The only thing
Trout got injured, so that led
well,
to me
let's see. Rendon.
Messaging you the other day. What was my message exactly?
Rendon got hurt, then Trout got hurt.
Yeah, well, yeah. So then I messaged you and Trout got hurt, and I said, in all caps, I said, "This season sucks. Baseball season is over for me."
And to make matters worse, they are now last in the AOS in turn by percentage points, as both them and the Astros are 12 and 22.
The good news is, if we lose a lot this year, we could get a good draft pick.
No, because it's a lottery. So no, it's a lottery. It's like the NBA. First 10 picks are a lotto. So that's why the Cleveland. That's why the Cleveland Guardians, who had the same.
Our lottery odds, right?
It increases your odds, but the winners of the first one were the Cleveland Guardians, who had who finished around the same as the Angels did last year in terms of record.
But what I'm saying is it increases our odds to have a top 10 draft pick that could be the next Mike Trout, or we could slide into 11 and find the next Mike Trout anyways.
I mean, I guess that's the one nice thing about.
I mean, the Yankees missed out on Mike Trout like twice, I think, right?
No, one. Well, we had their pick. And if we didn't take him, we would have. If we didn't take him, they would have. But in terms of worst record, we do own the 3rd worst record, behind Colorado, who's 8 and 26, the Marlins, who are 9 and 26, and then we're 3rd at 12 and 22. So realistically, yeah, if it was the old way, we'd have the 3rd pick in the draft if it continued. But there is a lottery, so. No guarantees on that.
No guarantees on your face.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm just in a bad mood because Mike Trout's hurt, and it's like no reason to watch the Angels this year. Logan O'Hoppy's only kind of exciting. Zach Neto's still developing. It's like, I don't know. I say give Adele the starting center fielder job every night.
You can. He's he's not good defensively.
Well, but that was the position he knows.
He's still not good defensively.
Give him the right field job every night, and then
I just DH him. He's too much of a liability. He's way too much of a liability.
Isn't he? Is he still hitting like over 300?
That's what I'm saying. You can just DH him.
Hitting at least is finally coming to full effect.
I mean, it couldn't do much worse.
He's hitting. Oh wow, he dropped. He's hitting 261 now. Nobody's hitting. Our best hitter right now is Taylor Ward.
He's the only hitter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's our only. He's still a fun kind of thing to watch, but yeah, no, even we played Thice today against the Guardians.
Yeah.
Yo, am I the only one who doesn't like Matt Thice?
Oh, I hate him. I think he's absolute trash. He needs to be. He's on my list of guys to get rid of.
Oh, Hoppy's even dropped down to 260. Yeah, it's like, well, it's just like it's just like in our what's it called? With Trout gone, it's like they're like, we could just pitch these guys however we want. There's no threat in the lineup.
Oh no, 1,000%.
So all these guys' numbers are dropping because we have no. In amongst all of this, it's been thrown about, and you and I have talked about this off the podcast, but I kind of want to hear your thoughts on the podcast of people talking about they're saying that Perry Najin is a bad general manager.
Nice.
Don't agree.
Nice Dutch bros.
Yeah, I got my strawberry fizz or whatever it is. Of my sparkling water.
Oh, Jesus. I don't think necessarily Perry's a bad GM. I think here's what I think happened is somebody said, Artie, you know, we need bullpen. And he's like, all right, let's go get bullpen arms. And that's what they did. I think that's to me is what happened.
Their bullpen arms are bad.
No, I know. That's what's so funny about it is but the guy they spent the most money on's out for the year in Robert Stevenson.
Sure.
And Esteves is trash. Esteves kind of sucks, and it's like Matt Moore's not bad. Neither's really Adam Simber, but it's just a matter of when. It's a matter, it's a matter of that when things collectively aren't working, then everything's not working. Because the big thing, you got to remember too, the big thing that they were talking about for the pitching side was first pitch strikes. And as of last time I checked, they were like dead last at like 50 something %.
Sure.
Let me see if that's changed. Like I know they were like I said, they were dead last at one point.
I mean, we could just agree the Angels are just bad right now.
I think they're more.
Do you think a new? I mean, obviously, I think really the biggest thing that would help is Artie being gone. But do you think Perry being gone would help?
No, I don't think. I when it comes to Perry, I'll defend Perry more so. The only reason I'll defend him more so is I think maybe it's just because I'm now looking at it from a different point of view, where it's where I'm looking from it. Oh, by the way, now they're 28 at about 60% first pitch strikes, and leading the league is the Dodgers at 64%. But I think for me, and I think we did this. I'm gonna make a really bad comparison for a lot of Angel fans, but it's the only I want to. I'm making this comp to prove a point. When Billy Epler was at the end of his 10-year reign, it sort of felt the same way, right? It was almost like is letting him go the right thing, because, and a lot of people sort of felt the same way, where it was like, was it really his fault? Is he being used as a scapegoat for Artie's, nonsense? And that was the thing with a lot of Mets fans when they hired him, was, Epler's gonna shine here in New York because he doesn't have some dumb owner like Artie Moreno around him telling him what he can and can't do. And lo and behold, he kind of did the exact same thing that he did in Anaheim that he did in New York, right? For the most part. He only lasted, a couple of years. And I jokingly said he's still bargain chopping. He's now just doing it at the Dollar Tree instead of the 99-cent store for the most part, or like Dollar General instead of the 99-cent store, or instead of, he's moved up and overpriced talent.
Sure.
But with Perry, I think a lot of the times when I see like the insults or the not insults, the negatives towards Perry, I often I think when you're at least saying like Perry's doing a bad job, the argument I'll see is like some people on Twitter say like, oh, he's ruining the future because of how quickly he's called up guys. And my counterpoint is, I don't think that matters. If a guy's ready, a guy's ready. And I think that a lot of people will find excuses to just hate on the Angels for whatever reason. And I'm not saying some of it's not deserved, but I think the whole thing of like Nolan Chang was like, he was facing, he wasn't facing major leaguers, 40 days before getting called up. That's absurd. You shouldn't, that's so dumb. You're ruining him. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, wait a minute, these college, like the NBA players go from facing college kids to NBA talent in what? Their drafts in April to like June, they're playing guys who are NBA players. And no one says a word. They're 19-year-olds getting bodied by like LeBron James. No one's making that complain about that. Same with the NFL. These rookies who got drafted, they're going to be facing, NFL caliber guys within a short period of time. If like by OTAs, like they're not going to get hit until the fall, but they're facing that level of talent. So I don't know why podcasters who I would assume know better say this stuff like that and sort of just think like, well, it's common. And, and the whole thing is like, well, it's commonplace. Like you let guys develop. And it's like, in what way? I guess my question is this, and I understand like, I guess my thing when it comes to like player development and stuff is I don't think anyone who has pro level talent needs time to develop necessarily. Either you have it or you don't. It's honestly that simple. We see it in every major sport, right? For the most part, is like NBA, you either have it or you don't. NFL, you have it or you don't. The thing that makes MLB unique is you have this chance to like have guys sort of season and develop, right? For the most part. But a lot of that stuff isn't necessarily going to be your first round. You would hope it's not your first round picks that are going to take these like elongated projects, right? Like if I'm drafting a guy in the first round, I want him here arguably as soon as I possibly can have him, right? And especially if you're taking a guy out of college. Like if I'm taking a guy who's 21, I want him up here by the time he's 22, 23. And I think that's what Perry's doing. So in that regard, I don't blame him for that. If you want to say he's ruining the future, argue with the wall. Because every other major sport in this country has that fast of a turnaround, and they let him go. And we don't ever hear, you're rushing him, you ruined him. We don't hear that for the most part. We kind of just, it just happens. I don't know why they're picking on them. Number two, when they're a lot of the things they talk about it were like the trades they made. Like they traded 2 top prospects to get Giolito and Ronaldo Lopez, and they're talking about like, oh, the catcher's doing well, and I'm like, I don't really care what that guy's doing because reality was he probably wasn't going to be starting. He got blocked by Ohapi, and they're probably were, and unless they were in change positions, which at the time they drafted Chanwell, he probably wasn't going to play first. And they DH, I guess we could say, well, he could have played DH, sure, whatever. But he was blocked, so it was out of abundance to trade him because they got their catcher of the future. In terms of Kai Bush was often injured. It doesn't matter, and I haven't heard anything about Kai Bush anyway. So to me, that's a wash. I guess my whole thing is like, if you're looking at Perry from 20,000 feet, I think he did enough that he could with what he was given. but it's way easier for people to pick on the negative side of what he was doing and sort of fail to realize that he didn't really get full control until probably this year. And I think it's unfortunate that he's in the position he's in. When he came in with Joe Madden, thought Artie was going to sell the team after Joe Madden got let go, so he couldn't hire his guy last year. Artie pulls back, it screws everything up. So you kind of lost last year because of Artie just sort of like going, "Ha, JK, I'm not selling." And then this year, being a year, you lose Ohtani, you have no direction from ownership to really do anything. It sort of feels like Artie's waiting to sell and wants to sell at like the lowest point he can and walk away. And I don't know how much that we can personally put on Perry, because if Perry's just doing what he's told, then that's not his fault. It's not his fault that he's with an owner that would much rather torture his fans and try to play the game of, well, I'm here the long term, when we know that like his right hand man Carpino's contract's up. We know Perry's contract's up. We kind of know Wash is sort of going to be here for at least another year. But you're looking at the writing on the wall, and everything sort of indicates and points to he could step away this year and sell again. That's all indications. And that's been a rumor for a while, that he's looking to sell, that he wanted to wait out for Carpino. We've heard that before, and there are indications last year that this was a silent sell, and there wasn't really a lot of pushback on it. It was just a matter of who was involved. But I do think there was truth to it, that he was trying to silent sell and just be like, it's yours, but it didn't work out. It wouldn't shock me at all at the end of the year that we hear Artie's out, that he actually is going to sell the team. Who? I don't know. But it wouldn't shock me based on, like I said, Carpino's contract's up at the end of the year.
I mean, that felt like the right time to put up my usual slate.
Yeah.
So everything you're saying kind of flies in the face of how Beyond the Halo feels. He's honestly, he's kind of exploded. He's kind of imploded in on himself.
You know what's funny? And every time I see their posts and I see them talk, it really feels like they're talking from a place of frustration, where it's just like, and I guess I would feel the same way, but because I had to cover it, I just sort of go, no, this is what you expect. The only reason I was able to call essentially everything they did last year from like May was because I've seen it all before. It's the same thing of Artie will make Hail Mary passes because he thinks it's what everyone wants him to do. And because he does something like that, it blows up in his face. And I think that's why you sort of saw what happened this offseason happen, where it's like, he didn't go after a lot of guys. He didn't really want to pay Ohtani. Why? He doesn't care. If he's looking towards the end of the year and saying, I'm selling, and that's the internal thing, and no one's saying he's going to sell, why bother? Why bother trying to it? You don't have to tell the fans. You don't have to tell anyone what you're doing. But it's clear that they're not trying to win based on what they've done.
So Beyond the Halo also blames Artie, but he says the Beyond the Halo Twitter account said, it's May 1st and the Los Angeles season already feels like it's September. Perry built no depth, and now we're seeing the product of that. Even acknowledging the constraints Artie places on him, Perry Managian should be embarrassed with how poorly he constructed the roster.
See, this is what I would ask them, but they don't care for me. I feel like my question would be that, but my question to that is, what do you
speaking lightly?
But my question to that is, well, what do you expect him to do? That's my question is, and if you say, well, build depth, and it's sort of like I keep saying, what players were available that would add, that were quality depth? That didn't exist. Those players weren't there. And you can point and say, well, look at Gio Urshela. If Gio wanted to start Like, I think he wanted to start. Why would he want to come back to the Angels and not start? Because he was blocked everywhere else. Every position he played, he was blocked at. And I know arguably like, well, he'd be the starting third baseman. Well, guess what? He's injured again. He's on the IL. So if you're looking at like if that's your big one, like that's gone. I'm actually gonna pull this up. Hold on. I want
actually gonna pull something up.
No, I want to see who like because I don't remember who some like the top free agents were. So I just want to look at the list. That's all. That's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to look to see like who I'm sort of missing in terms of this. Like I guess Blake Snell was another one, but I'm like I'm fine with that. Montgomery, I guess if like Chapman really wouldn't have been here. Hader, no. Sonny like
I think
I'm trying to look.
Ultimately describes how I feel.
I'll give you I'm reading down the list. I'm just gonna say players who I think they're talking about. Jaime Candelario is a corner infielder. Argumentatively, he's one. Gurriel's another sort of like utility guy. He could have been there. A lot of people were talking about Jorge Soler as a DH. JD Martinez, another DH type, and he's number 20. I'm just continuing down this list here. I'll say Mitch Garver, I guess, could have been a DH catching. He would have been an upgrade. I'm gonna pass on Reese. I'm keep looking. You can keep talking. I'll just.
I was just gonna say, my favorite tweet that really wraps up how I feel on all of this was from good friend of the podcast, Tim Van Chatten. Said he tweeted unfinished business in the sarcastic font with the
the way my favorite
style, and he and it was retweeting Arte Moreno saying,
"Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I've got unfinished business."
And then having
like, what freaking unfinished business have you tried to take care of in the meantime?
And then another stupid podcast.
If you have unfinished business, you should be out there outbidding every freaking suitor and then every best player available, and say, okay, we are going to win a championship before I sell this team.
And then a certain podcaster who shall not be named saying that's big balls, and he doesn't do anything. By the way, Gio Urshela is number 38. That was another one they could have signed, followed up by Ahmed Rosario. I guess they could have gone after. Whit Merrifield, I guess you could have gone after. Everyone wanted Trey Turner. Mind you, the players I just read in the top, quote-unquote, top 50, those were 38 through 41. So like I said, kind of continuing on here, like hell, you could have gone out. They could still go out and sign Randall. He's still a free agent. But my point is like the depth, or Tim Anderson's number 50. That was another one they could have put up the middle. But my point sort of being is those were all the players like they're talking about, right? Like those are the guys they're saying, like, why didn't we go after them? Because look at where they are. Look at sort of what you're stacking up against, right? Does any of that really help? I mean, I guess they're better than what you got. But the point being is how much of that necessarily... Does any of that really feel like it's going to move the needle for you? Like, oh, cool, Jaime Candelario is a starting third baseman right now. Like, does that do anything for you? Like, honestly, no, it's not gonna.
We need an extra game.
Like, congratulations.
Maybe. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It just doesn't.
It does almost nothing.
Yeah, the whole thing is like, I just want to be like, none of those guys move the needle. Like, none of them really feel like, oh, you're gonna. If they would have signed 2 or 3 of those guys I named, they probably still be right where they are. At the end of the day, it's not going to make a difference.
Maybe 2.
Cool. You might have 15 wins.
You might have one more series win.
Yeah, you might have like a couple wins here and there, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like you're not. Nothing there is really going to move a needle because it's like at the end of the day, it's like Heimer Candelario or whoever. Are they better players than what you have? Sure, but I mean, so are a lot of other people. It just feels like a moot point because they want to point the finger and just be like, well, they signed for only $2 million. Why couldn't we do that? Because they like the Rays had Rays, the Blue Jays don't necessarily need them to be something that the Angels do. Like that, it's that.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Like, I mean, like I said, the only guy, I guess, if you want to be argumentative, is Heimer Candelario. He's a starting quality. He's starting caliber, and I think he's starting for the Reds. But point being, everyone else I just named off, you'd be like, oh, that's cool. Like it'd be like, cool, that's cool, Des. But you shouldn't be. It's like Tim said. At least to us, it's like, it's like you don't want to hear that those guys are starting. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
I digress.
It's a rough time to be an Angels fan.
And plus, the one move that they did make in terms of like depth was Aaron Hicks. And how did that work out?
He's gone. He gone. Hey, he's completely gone, isn't he?
He got DFA'd, but they got 10 days, so he's only been gone for it's like midweek.
He's probably gone.
Probably he'll probably be a free agent. I just want to see the actual.
I'm trying to remember where the.
See if I can find the date.
So, well, anywho, the Angels suck, and Trout's gone, and so I'm just getting.
Oh, they released him. They did release him. They released him on the 1st.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought he was gone. That is. So the Angels suck. I guess we could talk about the Lakers. They got outed by the Nuggets. And what was another one of those series where it was like every game was close. It wasn't like they got like the gentleman's sweep was not like the Nuggets won 20 by 20, then by 12, by 15, by 14, and whatever. It was like they won because they kept coming back, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They had more resilience and more depth than the Lakers do, and that was clear. And I mean, I think you and I knew that going into the series. Neither of us were sitting here going, Lakers are gonna win it. Yeah, I mean, I think we both had the hope that maybe like they pull something out to do something.
Yeah,
but ultimately it didn't happen. Now Darvin Ham is out as the coach.
all of them are.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say their whole staff is out, and rumors abound about Jason Kidd and Ty Lue and.
I didn't know there was Jason Kidd. I knew that there was JJ Redick.
JJ Redick, yeah, no, Jason Kidd. There's been talk about him as a possibility, but the ultimate question you have to ask is, does he fit anymore in this kind of like? I don't know. I think Jason Kidd is fine in certain aspects, but I don't think he's who you hired to win a championship. And Dallas seems to like him, so they're looking to extend him, and Ty Lue's looking, and the Clippers are looking to extend Ty Lue.
Well,
anywho, so the Lakers suck, and we'll have to spend the summer wondering if LeBron is going to come back to the Lakers or go somewhere else, or wait until his son gets drafted and then sign with whoever is.
I mean, it's possible.
His son, which is probably going to be the Lakers, because Bronny James. Here's my thing about Bronny James in terms of his current context of how he's developed as a player.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't be on any of these draft boards.
No, he shouldn't.
problem is the thing is LeBron is gonna sit there and say, "Oh, I'm still a very high caliber player." So if you draft my son, you get a high caliber player in me at least for a year or two. And
Yeah,
so it's just like I don't know. It's just one of those things. I mean, I think Bronny could become good, could become semi decent, but it's just like the Lakers will draft him, and then in 5 years they'll just not sign him.
probably. I mean, it's possible, I guess, that that's the case, but who knows? I guess at the end of the day, like it's not
Yeah,
good. Like they're not in a good position.
yeah, no. I mean, all the stuff that they should have done over the years. You and I were talking about this on the stream yesterday about Palinka. He's just not been. I don't know. I think he's a yes man, and he just does whatever LeBron tells him to do, which
Probably.
is how we got stuck with Russell Westbrook those years ago. It was
Hmm.
LeBron going, "Oh, this would be great. We'd have a big three and me, AD, and Russell Westbrook." At the time, the Lakers probably could have gotten Buddy Hield for slightly cheaper.
It sort of seemed like that was the case, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was just like, why are we getting Buddy Hield would have been great for LeBron and AD because he would have spaced the court for them, and anyways, all these what ifs to look back on. But like, I honestly, if I was the Lakers, I'm still of the opinion that they should have traded LeBron in the past year or two, like to wherever LeBron would have allowed them to,
Hmm.
and just getting whatever pieces they can for whatever they had, like AD and all those, and just say we're just gonna reset. We're just gonna.
I mean, that would have
It's
been,
time.
like I said, I think that would have been the correct pick, but
But
you know,
it is what it is. So, see, Lakers suck. Angels suck. Who else sucks?
everyone.
Oh, did we have anything else? I was trying to remember.
But I mean, that's like really it.
It's like the big things that we had happen. So
That's basically it. Is like that whole thing.
it's been a tough time to be a fan of these teams.
Hey, like I said, it's you know,
Hey, but Utah's NHL team, they're gonna rock it. They're gonna rock it.
they're gonna rock, huh?
They're gonna be the bomb.com.
The
They're gonna be my
bomb.com.
second team behind the Ducks.
Oh, jeez.
Hashtag quack and then hashtag whatever the Utah slogan stuff will be.
Hashtag quack. Hashtag. Well, we're gonna wait a little bit, huh?
Anywho.
There you go.
Sorry, what?
Anywho.
Oh, I didn't know if you'd. Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, this is a bummer of a podcast because there's not much good to talk about. Like, there's nothing we can say with the Angels where we're like, but at least this is our silver lining. Like in years past, we could go, well, maybe Ohtani will stay.
Yeah, and at least that had something to do with it, right? Where it was like, well, there's a chance, right?
Nope, there was never a chance.
Yeah, now there's, yeah, now it's just like,
from the time we signed him 6 years ago, or
it sort of looked like,
now.
and I've said that before, it kind of looked like he was destined to, had his eye somewhere else.
He was always looking for the Dodgers, but he said, "You know what? I can set up camp in Anaheim, and
Where it's, you know,
when it's time, I'll pop it on the spotlight."
yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I mean, that's what happened.
But do you have anything else? I'm trying to think in terms of.
I mean,
I was also
Helldivers.
feeling like video games came.
Helldivers.
People are mad
Helldivers
about
pissed
Helldivers
off. I
requiring
don't care.
PlayStation Network.
I think that's the dumbest thing. Like, I guess I can say it's dumb because I have a PlayStation Like I have a PlayStation, so for me, it'd be like, oh, whatever. But I do find the complaining funny, and the only reason I find it funny is because one of my favorite games requires a connection to another, requires another connection, and that's the Halo Master Chief Collection. It requires an Xbox connection. I have it through Steam. I still need to connect it to my Xbox account. No one complained about that. Now, did they? Not that I recall.
Yeah, but most people have a Microsoft account. Not everybody has.
No, I know, but I'm just my point being is like your pick. It feels like they're trying to nitpick. Like, well, I don't want to play you more. Okay, but it's like it's not like they knew that was coming, and it's their prerogative. Like they are. I mean, there's two sides to that coin where that you can complain, be like, oh well, they shouldn't do it, but it's like one, it's a PlayStation original title. They have their right, but on the flip side, it sort of shows that what Sony's been doing, I guess, to like the show, for instance, it sort of seems like that's kind of where we're head. Like, all they really want is dollars and to pack their numbers, I guess. So there's two ways to look at it. There's two ways to look at it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I've never been a big fan of having to have multiple accounts for everything, but it's
I will admit I do hate but I mean, like, I do hate it, but at the end of the day, like, I think the rage is sort of stupid, if that makes sense.
People are gonna feel how they feel.
No, I get it. I'm just saying it. To me, it just, like I said, yeah, I don't like, you're complaining. It feels like it just feels like a weird thing to complain about because, like, Ubisoft requires their own freaking login to play flippin' Uno. You know, and it's like, where was the outrage there? Oh, because like it's popular.
No, not everybody's playing Uno.
No, I know. Is that the thing? Like it's because the game's popular that you can complain. Is that
probably?
Is that it? Is that the reason? Oh, the game's popular. Let's raise a storm. But it's like, dude, Ubisoft's been doing that crap for years.
Sure, I get you.
You know?
I get you.
Like, it's the whole thing. It's like it's the thing of like this isn't the first time it's happened. Like, this isn't it's not a, oh, this is brand new, dude. It's been around forever. It's just, I guess it's finally just a random requirement that I guess they didn't need to redo or implement, but they wanted to. Their Sony wanted them to. And if it means you uninstall, I guess, oh well, you uninstall. You paid the money. They won out in the end.
Yeah.
So I don't know what exactly you're gaining from that, other than like you blew
Damon is still there.
$70. Thank you for that.
I've realized my power recently.
I can just do this. Okay.
What, did you turn it off?
Yeah, I muted it. I can still hear it, but it won't come through.
But it still came through on the recording.
No, it didn't.
Did it not?
It's muted.
How do you hear it?
Because it's muted going into I still hear it. I'll still hear it, but it won't be heard anywhere else.
Well,
yeah, I still hear it. I hear it. I'll still hear it.
People listening and even people watching have no idea what's going on.
Nope, that's fine. But it's mute. Yeah, all that stuff's muted. All the commands are muted.
Well,
so have fun. You're just annoying. You'll just be annoying me.
You what?
I said you'll just be annoying me.
Ooh. There you go.
I don't know.
There you go. That's your favorite one. I know that's your favorite sound.
I don't hear it half the time. It's so quiet.
And then there's this one that's your other favorite.
That one is funny.
All right. Well, you're driving this ship. Do you want to
I guess it's over.
Market and Shore or whatever.
Yeah, thank you for watching the new worst week ever podcast. I'm sure we'll have a new worst week ever soon. It's just a matter of time. I don't know how many news I said there.
You'll have to type Mullen when you do
I'm not gonna. It's. I think the limit's like 28 or something because somebody already found that out. It's just gonna be worst week ever. And on that note, we'll see you guys all next week.
Peace.
Good choice words, Bryce. What a way to go.